Hi everybody. Hi, this is Shonda. We'll be doing some yoga sequence today, focusing on breathing deeply. It's true, many of our flow classes and yoga in general we do pair pranayama breath with our practice, so breathing deeply feels commonplace maybe, but in this case I wanted to focus a little bit on really wringing out tensions, relieving stress. Breathing deeply can help us relieve tension and stress and open ourselves up for refreshing new energy. And so as we go through this series, we'll be focusing a lot on the breath. Very good. I put in some nice twists, shoulder openers, and neck release. These are what I think of when I think what really helps me with releasing and letting go within breathing deeply. So I hope you enjoy. Let's begin seated on your mats in a nice comfortable seated place. Hands can be on the knees, palms facing up to invite energy in, or down if you have hyped up energy and you feel like you need to kind of bring it down a little bit. Do let your eyes be closed, and let's just spend a few breaths sitting and breathing. Allow yourself to feel the breath as it enters and exits the body. Touch in with your senses, what you hear, feel, how you feel. And once you do touch on these, like checking in, then just place them off to the side and bring your attention back to your breath. I offer a quote by Gertrude Hirsch. Spent energy in my mind, body, and soul flow away from me, and I accept all things that refresh me. Spent energy in my mind, body, and soul flow away from me, and I accept all things that refresh me. Slowly opening your eyes, reach the arms out, touch fingertips down to the outside edges of the body, down to the mat. On an inhale, let your arms reach up as you breathe in. And then exhale, lowering the arms down to the right, gently looking out over the right shoulder. When your inhale arrives, the arms lift back up through the center and exhale down to the left. So you're going to do this a few times following your breath. Let it be the inhale that lifts and the exhale that lowers. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You can begin Ujjayi Pranayama. At any point in time in your practice, if you would like. One more inhale up through the center. And on the next exhale, let the arms part. Press the palms down as you exhale, exhale. And then we're going to come forward onto our hands and our knees into table and do some cow and cat. Come down onto your hands and your knees on your mat. Table. Knees are hip-width distance apart, right under the hips or slightly behind the hip. Wrists right under the shoulders and fingers spread wide. On an inhale, look up and the tailbone gently lifts maybe, or just drop the ribs down. As you exhale, come back through neutral and arch up through the back. Reach out of the shoulders and hips. So inhaling up into cow. Exhaling down and through into cat. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Following the breath. On your next exhale, in your own time, we come back to neutral or table pose. Exhale and wring the breath out of the body, and on your next inhale, the left arm opens up, opening the heart towards the sky. It's okay if you lift and let that left hip open a little bit too. On your next exhale, bring the left arm down, thread it behind the right arm, gently laying down on the left shoulder. Press down into the earth with the right palm as you look up. Nice deep breaths here. On your next inhale, if you'd like to bind this pose, lifting the right arm up, crossing behind the back body, reaching for the upper left thigh. This is optional, of course. You don't have to bind the pose. Sometimes it can feel nice to root the left fingertips above the head. Or just keep the right fingertips and the right palm rooted into the earth. On your next exhale, if you went for the bind, release that. Place the right palm down, and as you inhale, rooting through the right, as you lift the left back up. And then exhaling, let the left palm plant back down into table. Next inhale, right arm opens up. As you exhale, bring the right arm down, thread behind the left arm, gently landing on the right shoulder and rooting through the left palm as you look up. I think it's worth it to spend a couple breaths at least rooting through the left and finding a nice twist that feels good for you. Also, aiming the tailbone straight back. So just think about energy-wise pressing the tailbone back. Sometimes the hips want to curl off to the left. So just press the tailbone back. And from there, once you really feel established, if you'd like to bind your pose, this can feel really nice. Nice deep breaths. This pose can be very good thinking about wringing yourself out, letting go and releasing. Good. Exhale, releasing the bind. If you went for that, place the left palm. As you inhale, root through the left and reach the right arm back up. Exhaling, landing the right palm down. Now we'll go into puppy pose. So, keeping your hips over your knees, begin to walk your arms forward ahead of you. Go as far as feels comfortable. You want to drop the head down so your ears are between the upper arms. Lift the rib cage and the core body as you root down through the fingers, knuckles. Notice how you can soften the shoulders even as you root down through the palms and fingers. If you want to melt the forehead down, that's okay. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands back in towards you, coming back into table. Go ahead and keep traveling, taking the seat back and down over the heels into child's pose. Root through the fingertips as you send the spine back And let the forehead melt down. 2 or 3 nice long breaths, breathing into the back body. Letting the breath elongate the spine. Every inhale expands, and the exhale helps us release. Good. On your next inhale, come up to table, tuck the toes under and lift the knees, and on your exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Start in down dog. Let the knees be fairly bent and the heels lifted. Rooting down, especially through the thumb and pointer finger. Let the shoulders, top of the shoulders relax by imagine the shoulder blades hug in towards the spine and they trace down the spine towards the hips. Lift the rib cage and the core body up and begin to alternate walking your heels up and down. Lengthening through the back of the legs. Good. From here, walk your feet towards your hands, coming into standing forward fold towards the top of your mat. Once you're there, deeply bend the knees so deep your upper body rests on top of your thighs, and then let the crown of the head sink down towards the earth. Hands can take opposite elbows and shake the head yes and no. 2 or 3 nice long breaths here. Good. Exhale, release the arms down, and on the next inhale, begin to come up to stand. Use the core body, even if you want to roll up the spine as they say, but do keep the core engaged. If you have low back pain, the best way to come up is to keep the knees bent, hands to the thighs, long back, long spine, and press through the thighs as you stand up. So don't roll along the spine if you already have some issues in the low back. Rather, bend the knees, tight core, and then press through the feet as you lift up. Good. Once you're standing, come to the top of your mat and let's find Tadasana, mountain pose. Let your feet be about hip-width distance apart, arms alongside the body, palms facing forward. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale and roll the shoulders back and down. Inhaling the shoulders up. Exhaling. Inhaling. This exhale as you roll the shoulders back and down. Let the arms be soft, but the core body strongly engages. You're rooting through all 4 corners of each foot and lifting the kneecaps up towards the hips, just slightly engaging the quad muscles. You can land the toes back down. You lifted them up. So making this a nice, strong and engaged mountain pose. So now we're going to do 7 sun salutations, really bringing the breath in and out of the body. So exhale fully. On the inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge gently at the hips, folding forward. Eventually you'll need to bend the knees and round through the mid, back, forehead towards the legs. Inhale, come halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. You want a long spine, so if you need to, bend the knees and hands can come to the shins. Next exhale, fold forward. Again, rounding through and ring the breath out. Then on your inhale, rooting through the feet, engaging the core body and sweeping the arms out wide. And then exhaling, hands to the heart. Again, inhaling, arms reach out and up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway up. This exhale, plant the hands in the corners. Step 1, then the other foot back into plank. Let's take 2 long breaths right here. We'll connect it all up in the next sun salutation. Take a big inhale in, and on the next exhale, shift the shoulders forward, knees come down, and the upper body can lower right alongside, ribs alongside the elbows alongside the ribs. Inhaling, come up into cobra, and on your exhale, tuck the toes under, press the hips back, and press up for downward facing dog. Bottom of the next exhale, bend the knees, look up between the hands. Inhaling, step the left, then the right foot forward. Exhale and fold in Uttanasana. And inhale to stand. Exhaling as your hands come to heart. Regather the core body, having a nice firm foundation, rooting through equal weight down through both legs. That energy of rooting down lifts us back up, nice and tall, feeling right up through the crown of the head. And we stay engaged. A couple of nice long breaths. Okay, inhaling, reach the arms out and up. Exhale and fold, following the breath down. Inhale, halfway up. This becomes one nice long inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back and lower down, knees and upper body. Eventually all on that exhale. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back for downward facing dog. Bottom of the next exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhaling, hopper step, the feet forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, and this time lower down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward. Sorry, I had a big red ant on my mat. Exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhale, hopper step forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhaling, arms reach out and up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bring the breath out. Inhale in. Exhale, plant the hands. Hopper step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward. Exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhale, hopper step the feet forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale. So even if you don't quite match my pace, inhale the arms up. You want to be wringing the breath in and out. As you exhale down, wring the breath out. Inhale, halfway up. One long, delicious inhale. Exhale and flow through. Inhaling up and exhaling. Inhale in. Exhale, bend the knees, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale. 3 breaths here. 3 breaths. You can rest in downward facing dog, or it's okay to come down into child's pose and let the wrists and shoulders relax. This is encouraged especially if you're newer to your practice. Also resting in down dog. That was a nice round of sun salutations. The emphasis on really bringing the breath in and out of the body. Back in downward facing dog. Bottom of the next exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhaling, hop or step. The feet forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands. Samasthiti. 2 full breaths. It's a beautiful day out today. A lot of birds, a lot of bugs. Bugs are okay though. Okay, let's inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. If you get tired of lowering through Chaturanga, you can always just step back to downward facing dog. That's where we meet up. Good. From this down dog, let's inhale the left leg parallel to the floor. Ankle stays flexed, toes towards the floor. Then take a couple of breaths, and on the exhale, really press energy back through the left heel as you root down through both hands equally. Soft shoulders. Exhale, and on the inhale, step the left foot up between the hands, spin the right heel down, and press up into warrior one. Two or three breaths here in warrior one as you gather the core body in. Let the shoulders stay soft. Facial muscles stay soft. Good. On the next exhale, hands can come to the heart center. Inhale, straightening through the front leg, keeping the knee soft by drawing the kneecap up towards the hip. On an exhale, you're going to hinge, folding forward at the hips, right, until you find a nice stretch in your hamstring there. Then we're going to take revolve triangle. So place your right palm down, pretty much right under the right shoulder, or think of it as shoulder width distance apart from the front foot. You can tint the fingers and or have a block or book under your hand if lifting the floor feels more comfortable. Inhaling, the left arm and heart center reach up. We want to do at least 3 nice long breaths here. Nice, and on the next exhale, look down. Let that left arm down, fold, and on an inhale, rooting through the feet, engaging the core body, and lift the upper body up, and then exhale, just breathing the left shin forward back to warrior one. Next exhale, hands to the heart center. You're going to step the right foot up towards the left, coming through, bringing the right knee forward, and then we're going to take Garudhanasana. So it's eagle pose, crossing the right leg over the left, maybe leaving the right foot just to the outside of the left calf, or if it's available, hooking your toes around the base of the left calf. Hug the knees in towards each other, outside of the knees are facing each other, hug them in. Sit back in the left heel and press the hips back. Arms can lift up. Good. Take the right, cactusing the arms, right elbow under the left. Wrap the forearms around each other and press the elbows up. Two or three nice long breaths. On your next inhale, release the limbs up and lift and then step back, warrior one. Take a big inhale in, and on the exhale, hands to the corners, step the left foot back, lower down through chaturanga, eventually all on that exhale. A nice long inhale, drawing the heart through and forward in upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. 3 nice long breaths. Good. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up parallel to the floor or earth. Exhale, press energy back through the right heel. Inhale, step the right foot up between the hands, spin the left heel down and press up into warrior one on the right side. 2 or 3 nice long breaths here. As you feel all the beautiful subtle energy of Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhale, straighten through the right leg softly, and then as you exhale, come forward, hinging at the hips with a long spine. Keeping a micro bend in the right knee as needed. You're going to land your left palm down, shoulder width distance apart from the front foot. On an inhale, lift the right arm and heart center up. As you breathe, soften the shoulders, soften your face. If looking up feels uncomfortable for your neck, look straight ahead or even just keep looking down. Next exhale, lower the right arm, fold forward. On an inhale, rooting through the feet, using the core, reaching the upper body up, and exhaling, gently breathing the right shin forward, warrior one. Next exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale as you bring the left foot forward, step forward and through. Good. Crossing that left leg over the right. So again, you can remember, he or she who falls first wins in our more balancing poses. Left foot can stay to the outside of the right calf, or if you have it available, you can reach the toes around to the inside. I don't seem to have that available today. Hug the knees in towards each other as you sit back in that right heel and press the hips back. Arms can be used to help counterbalance as you sit back in the right heel and shift the hips back. Right, and then cactus the arms, left elbow under the right. And then slowly begin to lift the elbows towards the sky. Gaze could lift too. Good. A big inhale in. Release the arms and the legs. Exhale, step back. Finding warrior one. A big inhale in. Exhale and flow through your vinyasa. Deep breath. Bottom of the next exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhaling, hop or step the feet forward. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale to stand. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhaling, arms reach out and up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale and take a flow. From this down dog, inhale the left leg straight up towards the sky. Exhale and stack the hips. Gently opening that left hip. Keep your shoulders square to the earth. Next inhale, step the left foot up between the hands for warrior two. Two or three nice long breaths. Bringing the breath in and out of the body. On your next inhale, straighten softly through the left leg. Inhale, reaching the upper body forward for triangle or trikonasana. Rotating the arms up and down. Soft gaze to the top hand. Unless it doesn't feel good on your neck, look straight ahead. Exhale, looking down. Inhale, the upper body reaches up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands and take a flow. We meet up in downward facing dog. From this in down dog, inhale the right leg straight up. Exhale, stacking your hips. Next inhale, step the right foot up between the hands. Warrior two. Take your time, there's no rush. Settling into your warrior two for 2 or 3 nice long breaths. See your big toe on the inside, just peeking out on the inside of your right knee. Right, this lets us know we have good alignment, not having the knee collapse in, rooting through the pinky toe, outside edge of the left foot. Inhale, straightening through the right leg. Exhale, reach the upper body forward. Stay on the same plane until you can't go any further. And that's when you rotate the arms up and down. Soft shoulders, soft face, but long side bodies. Exhale, look down. Inhale, reaching the upper body up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands. You can step right to down dog or take a flow. 3 breaths. Good. On your next inhale, step the left foot up between the hands, warrior one. Coming back to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the heart, and inhale, step the right foot forward and bring the leg through, going back into our hero's pose. But this time, do leave your right toes rooted down just to the outside of that left foot, because we're going to do some nice wringing the breath in and out of the body. So what you want to do is sit back in that left heel and shift the hips back, but the right toes are staying in contact to the outside of the left foot. Right elbow under the left. Intertwine those forearms. Inhale, and this time as you exhale, bring your elbows to the outside of the knees, to the left side. Inhale up, and exhale, really wring the breath out of the body. Inhale up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. This time, release and exhale back to warrior one. Big inhale in, exhale, hands to the corners. Look, you can always just step right to down dog if you want to break from flowing down through chaturanga. It's also okay to always take knees and upper body into cobra or flowing through chaturanga. It can be nice to vary up your flow. I feel like, especially if you're building your practice, your strength and stamina, it's important to honor ourselves, and you know where you are in your process. It is important to push through to new levels, but not to the point of hurting ourselves. It's counter to the everything about yoga. Inhale, the right foot steps up and through for warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhale, bring the left leg forward and through, cross over the right, but leave those left toes touching down into the earth just beside the outside of your right foot. Sit back in the right heel and shift the hips back. Eagle pose, but we're landing those left toes down to help us with balance as we really wring breath in and out of the body. Left arm under the right, forearms circle around each other. Inhale as you press the elbows up. Exhale, wring the breath out and deep. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time release. Exhale, step back. Warrior one. Big inhale in. Exhale and flow through your vinyasa. Bottom of the next exhale, bend the knees, look up. Inhaling, hopper step. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. 2 full breaths. If not already, step your feet about hip-width distance apart. Interlace your fingers, except for the pointer fingers. They point up like a steeple, and the thumbs cross over each other. Hands at heart center. You're going to inhale, pointing the fingers down, and lifting the arms up and out, and then exhale, hands towards the forehead, across the mouth, throat, down to the heart. So inhaling, sweep the fingers down towards the toes and lift up, and exhale. Inhaling, fingers point down, and reach the arms up, and then exhale as you draw the hands to heart center. Kapasana, mudra. So nice inhaling in and releasing. Okay, this time if you'd like a little more, when you inhale as you point down and reach up, lift the heels just a little bit. Whoa, yeah. And exhale, lower the heels back down. This is fun. I'm on uneven, rooted ground. So lifting the heels a little, inhaling up, and exhale. Good. A few more times on your own. Right, and then we meet up back, standing hands to heart center. Release the hands, wiggle the fingers. On your next inhale, arms reach out ahead of you. Thumbs tucked into the palms and fingers loosely wrap around the thumb. Inhaling, come up, just lift the heels a little bit, and as you exhale, lower as if you're backward against a wall. Once your hips reach your heels, gently sit down and roll out on the spine. Take several rolls. Good. And then scoot forward. We're going to take plow, so coming down onto your back. Right? If you're new to plow, root your elbows into the earth and let your hips rest in your hands. You can walk the shoulder blades in towards the spine so the shoulder blades can rest flat down into the earth. And as much as feels comfortable, take the toes overhead. Plow pose. Of course, if anyone would like to do shoulder stand, please do. But the pose emphasis for this series is plow. So several breaths. And of course, keeping the hips cradled and just taking the legs as far down as feels comfortable for you. Lowering the hips if that feels better. Good. On an inhale, let's come back. Exhale, lower down. Hug the knees in towards the heart, hands to the knees, and just gently circle the legs a few times each direction. You can also circle the ankles and wiggle the toes. Lift the feet towards the sky. Rock forward and come into Dandasana, seated staff pose. Walk the left foot in towards you and cross it over to the outside of the right. You can leave your right leg straight or bend the knee and have that heel sit up to the outside edge of the left hip. Take a moment to feel equal weight down through each of the sit bones. Hug the knee in with the right arm. On your next inhale, the left arm gently comes up to the left ear, and as you exhale, opening the heart to the left side, landing the left fingertips down and looking back over that left shoulder. Nice, deep, long breath. Exhale, release, and on your inhale, release the upper body, come back to the center and counter turn. body back to the center. Release the legs out and down. Back through Dandasana. Walk the right foot in and cross it over to the outside of the left leg. You can leave the left leg straight, or if you like, bend the knee and have the left heel sit to the outside of your right hip. Hug the knee in gently with that left arm, and a breath or two, seeing straight forward as you go for equal weight down through each of the sit bones. Then on an inhale, draw the left arm softly up towards the left ear. Exhaling, opening the heart to the left, landing the fingertips down, and looking out over the right shoulder. I meant the right fingertip. Exhale, release. Let the upper body come back to the center and counter turn. And then inhale back to the center. Release the legs out and down. Come back down onto your back. Easing back. Lift the knees over hips, and the shins come up lifted. We're going to take the recline twist. The option is to bring the knees stacked down to the left side, or you can cross the right leg over the left and then guide the knees down to the left side. You can shift your hips to the right edge of your mat to give you a little more space on your mat for those knees to lay down. And then extend your right arm straight out to the right and look out over your right palm. Exhale fully. On your inhale, use the left arm and lift the knees back to the center. We'll take that twist to the other side. So again, the knees can stay stacked, or you can cross the left leg over the right. This time we take the hips can shift to the left edge of your mat, and the knees go down to the right. And once they're resting, then reaching the left arm out and looking out over your left palm. Exhaling fully. On your inhale, gather the knees back to the center. Hug the knees towards the heart. Sway the body a couple times side to side. Let's take happy baby pose. Feet to the air, hands to the bottom of the feet, and the knees open out and drop down. A little bit of rocking from side to side. Knees come back in towards the heart. Wrap your arms around the shins. Lift your shoulders and forehead to your knees. Draw a deep inhale in. Give yourself a lot of love and self-appreciation in this big hug. And then on an exhale, release the limbs out and down into Shavasana, resting pose. From your Shavasana, deepening the breath, move fingers, toes, roll wrists and ankles. Slowly turn onto one side and rest on your side for a breath or two. After resting, easing yourself up into a comfortable seated place. It's an invitation to bring your hands to Heart Center for Anjali Mudra. Do let your eyes be closed and just a few silent breaths going within. It's an honor, joy, and a privilege to practice yoga with each of you. I leave you with Jai, victory, victory over your health and well-being, and for all others too. Jai.